So today we'll be making one of these slouchy fabric baskets, and you can roll it up or down so you've got a contrasting colour, and the more you roll it the stronger it will be. I'm using quite a lightweight cotton, but you can use heavier materials to make it stronger. So you start with 2 big rectangles of fabric, so I'm using this nice house one I've had in my stash. Fold it up so the edges match, and at this point you can use pins to hold it in place, but to be honest, whenever I do sewing stuff I'm quite slapdash with it. So then get it onto your sewing machine and you're going to sew 2 sides of your fabric, so you'll have a folded side, 2 stitched sides about 1 centimetre in, and 1 thinner open side at the top. And then we're going to do this nifty trick that a friend in Finland showed me, where you kind of fold the inside of the bottom stitch seam together and create a little triangle like this, and then you stitch over it. And by doing this you create a flat bottom for your bag. So my sewing machine's being a bit silly here, but you stitch over it, and always make sure, with my sewing machine it's quite an old one, so you have to manually do a back stitch at the end, and that's just to make it a bit stronger, but often sewing machines will just have a bit where you press a really easy button to do that. So again, I'm quite slapdash with this, I just kind of guess how big the triangles should be. So you're kind of folding it over and compressing that bottom. It can take a little while to get used to how to do that, but if you're a more precise person you can always cut off the other triangle first and use that to measure against it. So then you're going to do the same with the other one. So with this I do tend to cut the triangles off, because it can be tricky. When you do the same one and you go onto the second triangle on your first piece, it can be quite easy to kind of create a guideline from the other side, whereas when you're going onto a new one it can be quite tricky. So then cut all the triangles off and then turn your inner bag the right way round. So that's how the inside of it's going to look. Turn each section inside out, so the outside bits are now facing each other in the middle and the seams are on the outside. This is so that then you can turn it inside out afterwards. So what you're going to do is stitch both of them together. You make sure the seams are matching like this, and then about 1 centimetre from the top you're going to stitch round in a circle, but you need to make sure that you're leaving a little gap so that you can turn it all inside out. So if anyone's made a tote bag, it's kind of similar to that. It's all pretty much the same process. So you can do a tote bag with a flat bottom like that as well. You just have to make sure that you add handles.
This is the Staunton.
Once you've got a little gap left over, take your bag off the sewing machine and turn it inside out. I've not left much of a gap this time, so it makes it a little bit tricky to do. Once it's all evened out, get some of that kind of packaging material that goes around delivery boxes. It's like a form of plastic that's really stiff, and it's really good for just giving your basket a really nice bit of structural integrity at the top, and it just gives it a really nice ring shape as well. So if you're doing one that's a lot more shallow, that you didn't intend to have a folded over bit at the top, it would have a really nice circular bit to it. Can sometimes be a bit of a faff to get it all the way through, so sometimes what I tend to do is feed it through, bring my sewing machine back, and stitch kind of a little channel for it, because you tend to find that sometimes as you shove it through, it goes all over the place inside your basket. So if you create a little channel for it, it just makes it much easier. It's kind of like if you're doing a drawstring bag, you'd do something quite similar to this. Sometimes it's easiest to stitch a channel for the plastic to go through and then take it off the machine and feed the plastic in from the other direction as well, because it does tend to get a little bit stuck, and this bit can be a little bit fiddly. Once you've got all of that packaging tape in the top of your basket, I always do a little stitch around the top of it as well, because there'll always be that little bit that was open from when you turned it inside out, so it's good just to seal that bit up again. Plus it just gives it a really nice finish. Thank you so much for watching this video. You can find me on all social media at Darn It Workshops, and I normally run lots of creative workshops, but because of the weird situation we're all in at the moment, I'm doing lots more videos online. So please do keep an eye out for lots more coming up. If you've got any requests, let me know. I'll also be selling workshop in a box kits in the future, and please do keep an eye on my workshops that I've got coming up in the future. Thank you so much, and any questions you have about this little tutorial, please do let me know. I'm always happy to answer questions. Bye!